Welcome back to Torah in 10, Parshas Devarim. I'm Jody Burkell, and I'm so excited to be here with you again. Thank you for tuning in each week. I would be so grateful if you gave us a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss a thing. What's the life-changing idea Rabbi Sacks of blessed memory teaches us this week? If you want to change someone, make sure that you're willing to help them when they need your help, to defend them when they need your defense, and see the good in them, not just the bad. I have a question. Do we only grow through positive reinforcement? Or is there a place for criticism? And if so, what makes us take what we hear and actually listen to it? Once again, the Torah offers us ancient wisdom for our modern day lives. There's a wonderful story I love told about the great Hasidic master, Rabbi Levi Yitzchak of Berdichev. Many stories are said of him and how he interceded with heaven on behalf of the Jewish people. One famous story describes the Berdichever Rebbe seeing a Jew smoking on the street on Shabbat. He says, "My friend, surely you've forgotten that it's Shabbat today." "No," said the man, "I know what day it is." "Then surely you have forgotten that it's forbidden to smoke on Shabbat." "No, I know it's forbidden." "Then surely you were thinking of something else when you lit up your cigarette." "No," replied the man, "I knew what I was doing." At this, the Berdichever Rebbe turns his eyes upward towards heaven and says, "Master of the universe, who is like your people Israel? I gave the man many, many choices, and still he cannot tell a lie." The great leaders of Israel were great defenders of Israel, people who saw the good within the not yet good. Devarim, the fifth book of the Torah, is also referred to as Mishnah Torah, meaning a review of the Torah. Knowing that he will soon die, Moses reviews the Torah with his people, and he admonishes them for their sins. But not to embarrass them, he begins by alluding to those sins by recalling the places where they occurred. We read, "These are the words that Moses spoke to all of Israel on the other side of the Jordan, concerning the wilderness, concerning the Arabah, opposite the Sea of Reeds, between Paran and Tophel and Laban and Hazeroth, and Di Zahav." So the words "concerning the wilderness" refers to when shortly after the Jews left Egypt, they complained to God about the lack of food in the desert. Opposite the Sea of Reeds refers to when the Jews were caught between the Egyptians and the Sea of Reeds, and the Jews complained, "Were there not enough graves in Egypt that you bring us here to die in the desert?" And finally, Di Zahav literally means enough gold, and it's in reference to the sin of the golden calf. Rabbi Sacks points out this episode above all others. The Torah tells us explicitly how daringly Moses came to the rescue of his people. When God told him what the people had done and wanted to destroy them, Moses immediately responds, "Lord, why should your anger burn against your people?" And when Moses comes down the mountain and having seen what the people were doing, he does what Rabbi Sacks calls the single most daring act. He smashes the tablets engraved by God himself. Moses then goes back up the mountain for another 40 days and begs Hashem to forgive his people. He says to God, "I know they messed up. They committed a huge sin and built a golden calf, but you have to forgive them." And listen to the holy chutzpah Moses says. He says, "If you don't forgive them, then take my name out of the book you've written. I don't want any part of it if I'm not with my people." This is unprecedented language and shows us the type of leader Moses was. Moses, the great defender of Israel. No matter what trouble the Jews gave him, and boy, did we give him trouble, Moses, our teacher, went to battle for his people. But here we see through the book of Devarim, Moses is relentless in his criticism of the people. He says, from the day you left Egypt until you arrived here, you have been rebellious against God. You have been rebellious against God ever since I've known you. And he continues, if you've been rebellious while I'm still alive and with you, how much more will you rebel after I die? Criticism is easy to deliver, hard to receive. And here is our life-changing lesson in full color. What does it take for criticism to be heard and ultimately followed? Rabbi Sacks teaches us that people have to know beyond a shadow of a doubt that a leader is always ready to defend them. They have to know that he cares for them and wants the best for them and is prepared to take personal risks for their sake. Only when the people know for certain that you want the best for them do they listen to you when you criticize them. I once had a dear friend give me some criticism regarding my Jewish growth. Now, coming from someone else, I might have been offended and telling them it's really none of your business. But because I knew it was coming from a place of love and she truly had my best interest in mind, I actually was so happy she said it to me because it helped me grow. I heard a quote whose author is unknown, but it reminded me of Moses. It says, always pray to have eyes that see the best in people, a heart that forgives, a mind that forgets the bad, and a soul that never loses faith in God. In our own lives, whether we're in a position of leadership at work, in our community, or in our homes, or we're under the leadership of others. When we give or receive criticism before we speak, think, is it good? Is it kind? Is it helpful? And we'll add today, is it coming from a place of judgment or from a place of love and genuine care? Rabbi Sacks teaches us if we want to change someone, make sure that we're willing to help them when they need help, to defend them when they need our defense, and see the good in them, not just the bad. Anyone can complain, but we have to earn the right to criticize. And that is a life-changing lesson we can all use. Thank you so much.